we're going to be going over the new island and a potential new monster that we may have just under our grasp. So going back to our previous video, please make sure to watch it before watching this one. We went over how the fire monsters are quite likely to return on the island. However, what we didn't do is go over what fire monsters will be returning on this island. And to that I say, we are going to get them all, as we discussed in the other video. So if this is going to occur, that means that we will be seeing never before seen fire elementals inside of the original game. And this includes Edamame, Krillby, Flumox, Yelmut, Incisaur, Bicinurus, Tiawa, Candelabra, and Dromedary. And that is not to forget all of the fire elementals that are in game, which I'm going to put up right here, as I don't really feel like naming all of these. But yeah, guys, it's an absolute wham shell of fire elementals. That's all of the ones on Fire Haven, Fire Oasis, and our triple elementals on the magical islands. Now, we obviously do have our magical elementals that share the fire element too, but I think that these are going to be excluded, seeing as though this island is supposed to encapsulate all of the original fire monsters from Dawn of Fire that we haven't seen as of yet, going by what we've theorized. But I think this island leaves a lot to question now in that regard, in what monsters we are going to see, as I think this now does make us question what about the fire elementals that we've never seen inside of Dawn of Fire. As if we're going to get all of the fire elementals on this island, surely it would be the case that we are going to see the rest of the fire elementals that we've not seen as of yet, including the final quad and all of the quints and the potential hex monster behind the fire elementals. So if this is to occur, I think naturally we will be seeing them on the new island. So as for when we could expect a new fire monster though, I think we need to head on over to the loading screen, as underneath the ENR you can see a little grey pot. And with this little grey pot being here, I certainly do think that this is tied to the new island. Now, it could not be a new monster, it could be something else, but this is clearly a hint towards what is coming. And seeing as though there's so many hints towards the new island on this loading screen, I think that this could be a new fire elemental or something else that we are going to uncover on the new island. I think saying it might be a new fire elemental is a very long stretch, to be honest, as I think there would be a lot of work needed to go into that, and honestly getting all of the fire elementals already seems like a massive bombshell and enough content already. However, I honestly cannot picture what else this pot could be, as seen as though this is likely tied to the new island, there's not many options that I can envision right now as towards what this could be for. I certainly think that the fire elemental side of things is probably a bit of a stretch there, but seeing as though this is the position where we usually see monsters as well, it really does bring a lot to question, that one. It could be a new seasonal, most certainly, but I am laying my bets on this being something related to the new island. And on the loading screen, whilst we are here too, I have something else to point out. If we go on up to the island once more, what was right in our faces, which I don't think I've seen anyone notice whatsoever, but thanks to the monster explorers for pointing it out to me, we can actually see that this is an obstacle from Dawn of Fire. So if any of you guys were still unconvinced from my last video, this pretty much ties everything together that, yeah, this is going to be related to fire elementals in some way. And seeing as though we have this obstacle here, we can see that this island is indeed going to share an immense connection to Dawn of Fire, and that this island may indeed be an island that has been preserved from the Dawn of Fire era. Regardless though, this plant does confirm that this island is going to be absolutely crazy for the lore behind Dawn of Fire and My Singing Monsters. I think we're going to get some insane lore behind this, which is really exciting. Just from this plant here, you can tell that this is going to be a very interesting experience, this one, especially how they've preserved the plant ever since the Cataclysm, where all of the islands from the continent split up and made the natural islands in game today. There's lots to question as towards how this island has been made possible in the first place, and you certainly can see that this island is perfect for the fire elementals going by this plant. Seeing as though more fire elementals are likely to be added to Dawn of Fire, this gives them more of an incentive to add them into Dawn of Fire in the first place. Right now, we are going on beyond almost a year and a half where we saw Tiawa. That was ages ago. That was all the way back when Light Island was first releasing. That was ages ago, guys. But with this new island, this gives them an incentive to finally go back to Dawn of Fire and add the remaining fire elementals, as they know they can then add them to the original game, which will boost the original game's content even more. more, so now it's more in their favor to add more content to Dawn of Fire. So I think this is really going to benefit both games. So in terms of the cons, I can only see it being pros for both games getting more content alongside one another. Whilst that exclusivity is going to be drained away a little bit from Dawn of Fire, you've still got all them amazing islands and songs to explore, and ultimately that's what My Singing Monsters is. It will add a lot more to the original. We'll get a new island and song. It gives more of an incentive to play Dawn of Fire, as you're going to get to discover the monsters even more. We're going to get way faster Dawn of Fire updates, and when I say way, I mean way faster Dawn of Fire updates. As if they are adding them in here, they are certainly going to be adding them to Dawn of Fire even faster, as there's no way that they won't add them to Dawn of Fire as the monsters are coming on here. There's no way that My Singing Monsters will get them first of all, because Dawn of Fire is Dawn of Fire. They just can't do that, so it's going to really work out for both games, I do think this. So furthermore, something else which we did not notice in our first part behind this breakdown was also the castle in the background. I have no idea how we missed it, but in the back of the trailer you can see the Paradise Castle in full, but it's been chopped in half rather miraculously, and I think this is heavily going to tie into the new mechanics behind the island. We've been over the new structure, but I certainly think that this castle is going to be tied into it as well. It's a very ominous setting, isn't it, that the island's setting out so far, with the huge massive structure that we have no idea what it is, and also the castle which has just been completely chopped in half. And as for the castle, all I have to say is why? Why is it the case that the castle is chopped in half? I can't get my mind around why that may be behind the mechanics, and I think that this is going to be tied to it, but as for how, I have no idea. All I can say is why. Because that's the word that comes to mind, and honestly there's no other incline or theorizing to be done here. It's just why. As for how we are going to obtain the fire monsters, we went over lots of different ways in my first video. However, something really cool that I would personally like to see in-game is the return of Amber Casing. For the remaining fire elementals, we've been confirmed that they are inside of the living core like we went over last time, which may be the structure there, but we have not been confirmed as towards what they may be like. So perhaps they could all be encased in amber, just like Takena on Tribal Island. If that is the case, that would bring about so much towards the mechanics behind the island as towards how you're going to get them. The remaining fire elementals that we went over, including the list displayed on screen now. So this would bring about a whole other kind of thing. I feel like this could be a waking up Wobblins kind of thing. Getting to see you unraveling the amber around the monsters would be so cool from a game perspective. Getting to see that right in game and see how it is broken, as that's not been confirmed in game, would be a marvelous thing to witness. As I personally do think that seeing things happen in game is much more invigorating and exciting than perhaps imagining them take place, let's say. So getting to see that in game would be insane. Maybe you could purchase the ambered statues through relics and then somehow unearth them. I'm unsure how exactly it would work, but honestly that would be such an exciting idea. Furthermore, we also do need to go back to the loading screen for a second. We've certainly been on here quite a lot inside of this video, but it's just so good for teasers, this one. As if we go right in the background of the loading screen, you will see Epic Boskus in the background, but that is not all. As if we head on over to the trailer and we pause it when all of the costumes are flying by, you can see Epic Boskus behind one of the bushes. So here we have confirmation that Epic Boskus will also be coming very soon in game. They have a really weird striped looking appearance. They differ so immensely to the normal and rare designs for this epic variant. They are looking really cool. I can't get my head around how they fit together though, as if we put the images together behind the loading screen and also the one inside of the trailer. They don't quite match, so I'm a bit unsure what's going on there. Maybe the loading screen one is the egg. I'm really confused about that, as if we compare it to the egg here, it does look similar to the egg, but then again, I also don't think that would be the most likely situation, as that has never happened before in a loading screen, them teasing them through their eggs. So I don't really think that's going to be the case, but regardless, it's quite exciting. Naturally, Epic Boskus will have a unique breeding combination too, so make sure to stay tuned for those breeding combinations. For Epic Boskus, I undoubtedly think that Epic Boskus is going to release this Wednesday. Going by how variants have released before, when we saw Spootical, Rare Juggler released straight away a week week after the trailer. So for Epic Boskus, I fully think that we are going to be seeing them this Wednesday, which will be very exciting. But most excitingly of all is the new island. I'm very excited for it, guys, and I hope you guys are too. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like down below and make sure to subscribe too. I will see you later though, guys. Bye.